Similarly, it could seem like modern Hollywood represents the height of drama and moral failures, but in reality, scandals have been a constant thread in the movie business since its start. Starting from the silent film period up to the classic movie era, actors and studios operated in a tricky environment where looks, fame, and wealth controlled all decisions. Beneath the shiny sets and cheerful paparazzi moments hid mysteries that got stuffed away for years, sometimes meant to stay hidden forever. These issues went beyond small mistakes. They included forbidden relationships, concealed kids, threats from blackmail, private pregnancy endings, and rumors of murders or plots to hide them. That time, which people often idealize, depended on fake fronts with press agents and bosses pulling long hours to protect the stars from any harm to their careers. Here, we're exploring the archives of classic Hollywood again to reveal 10 additional hidden scandals that were skillfully swept under the rugage right up to this moment. Get ready, as these tales are far muddier than the films that featured them. Moreover, one of Hollywood's shining stars, Loretta Young, lived a life full of hidden pains behind her famous smile. In 1935, while shooting a film called The Call of the Wild in the cold forests of Washington State, she started a short, powerful romance with her co-star, Clark Gable, who was already married. This secret affair led to a baby girl named Judy. Back then, having a child out of wedlock was seen as a big shame, especially for someone like Young, a strong Catholic who worked hard to keep her image clean and pure. To protect herself and her career, she did something brave, and desperate, she vanished from the public for a while. She had her baby in secret, then came back pretending she had just adopted a little girl. No one in the outside world doubted her story back then, though whispers flew around Hollywood for years. The movie studio jumped in to help keep the lie going, and even Judy grew up without knowing the true details until she was much older. It was only after Loretta passed away that her own writings and stories from family members finally shared the real facts with everyone. This tale opened eyes to the harsh realities women faced in the film world, where they often had to hide their personal lives just to keep working and hold on to their good names in a tough business that didn't forgive mistakes easily. The danger of gossip and judgment pushed them to make choices that changed their lives forever. Indeed, Jean Harlow became known as the original blonde bombshell, a stunning figure of sensuality and fame during the 1930s. She dazzled audiences with her radiant smile and striking platinum hair, yet her life hid a world of pain and trouble. At just 15 years old, she entered an early marriage that soon fell apart, leading to a quick divorce. Her next union brought even more drama, wedding MGM producer Paul Byrne in what seemed like a bright start. Tragically, only months later, Paul was discovered dead from a gunshot wound, officially called a suicide. Still, whispers persisted of family fights, personal struggles, and dark suspicions of foul play, casting long shadows over Jean's path. To shift the focus, the studio quickly put together a marriage for publicity with cinematographer Harold Rawson, though it lacked real love and served more as a job arrangement. Around this time, her deep and stormy romance with actor William Powell drew much attention from the gossip sheets. Their bond was intense, but William refused to marry again or start a family, pushing Jean toward a hidden choice saga secret procedure to end a pregnancy. Meanwhile, MGM worked hard to shape her picture as a fun and charming star, keeping the truth quiet about her feelings of sadness, isolation, and control by the strong men who directed her work. In the end, her time was short, passing away at 26 from failing kidneys, and her story left not just glitter, but deep sorrow. Furthermore, George Raft's life mirrored the tough gangsters he played on screen, often making it hard to tell where acting stopped and reality began. Born and raised in the rough streets of New York City's Hell's Kitchen, a place known for its dire poverty and rampant crime, Raft faced hardships that shaped his early years. He knew people like Buzzy Siegel and Meyer Lansky from his neighborhood, which exposed him to a world of danger and influence. Before hitting the big screen, Raft tried his hand at dancing, but financial struggles during the Prohibition era led him into bootlegging, where he reportedly carried messages and served as a cover for illegal activities run by organized crime groups. This first-hand experience with the underworld made his portrayals in movies such as Scarface and Each Dawn I Die feel so real to audiences. Even after moving to Hollywood, rumors swirled that Raff's acting jobs came partly from not just talent, but from quiet arrangements with shady figures who pulled strings behind the scenes. It was said that notorious gangster Al Capone himself gave Raff tips on how to act like a true mobster. Raff navigated Hollywood carefully, respected by filmmakers yet viewed with suspicion because of his connections, which made him a key player in an industry where crime and glamour mixed freely. He could command attention in any gathering, whether talking to big studio bosses or mob leaders, always walking that thin line between fame and trouble. While Raff steered clear of legal troubles and enjoyed a peaceful retirement, his story highlights how the real criminal underbelly of the time influenced and even propped up some of cinema's most iconic roles, creating a legacy that blurred fact and fiction in unforgettable ways. Thus, Alfred Hitchcock remains one of the most celebrated directors in cinematic history, praised for masterpieces like Psycho, Rear Window, and Vertigo. But beneath his public image as a brilliant craftsman of suspense lay a disturbing obsession with control, particularly over his female star. His treatment of actress Tippi Hedren during the filming of The Birds is now considered one of the most abusive episodes in classic Hollywood. Initially discovered and groomed by Hitchcock to be his next muse, Hedren soon found herself the target of his relentless fixation. When she resisted his unwanted romantic and sexual advances, he retaliated in chilling ways. In one of the film's most famous scenes, where her character is attacked by birds, Hitchcock insisted on using real birds instead of mechanical ones as shelljuju for 5 grueling days. Hedren was pecked, scratched, and traumatized on set, with many crew members later admitting the attack was punishment disguised as direction. But the torment didn't end with the shoot. Hitchcock held her to a strict contract, barring her from working with other directors and effectively stalling her career. Despite pleas for release and offers from major studios, he refused. Her reputation suffered, and roles vanished, while Hitchcock's career marched on unscathed. Hedren later spoke out about the psychological and emotional toll his behavior had on her, shedding light on how even revered artists could operate with impunity in a male-dominated system. Today, while Hitchcock's work continues to be studied for its innovation, his treatment of women, especially Hedren, remains a stain on his legacy and a sobering example of the darker truths behind auteur genius. This obsession with control extended beyond the set, as Hitchcock often pushed boundaries in his personal life and professional dealings, showing a pattern of power imbalances that affected many in his circle. For instance, he handpicked stars, shaping their images and careers to fit his visions, sometimes at great cost. Tippi Hedren's experience highlights the extent of his influence, where rejection led to professional sabotage. She endured intense sessions that blurred the line between direction and personal vendetta, leaving her scarred not just physically, but deeply emotionally. Crew accounts reveal how Hitchcock isolated her, creating an atmosphere of fear to assert his will. After The Birds, he enforced contractual clauses that kept her from accepting lucrative offers, which puzzled industry insiders but went unchallenged due to his stature. This stifled her potential, as promising projects slipped away and she struggled to regain footing. Years later, her reflections painted a picture of exploitation that mirrored broader issues in Hollywood's golden age. Hitchcock's genius in suspense films often stemmed from his keen understanding of human fears, yet it seems intertwined with his own domineering traits. Such behaviors raise questions about the ethics of artistic creation, where talent shielded abusive practices. Hedren's courage in speaking out much later helped expose these shadows, influencing discussions on consent and power in entertainment. His films stand as timeless explorations of tension, but the human cost behind them reminds us that brilliance can coexist with harm. Moreover, Joan Crawford Dow's career embodied the pinnacle of Hollywood stardom, marked by dazzling performances and intense public scrutiny. Beneath her glamorous exterior hid a troubled history that lingered like an unwelcome shadow. Long before she clinched her Academy Award for Mildred Pierce, rumors circulated persistently about her early involvement in a scandalous pornographic film known as Velvet Lips. Throughout her life, Crawford staunchly denied these claims, dismissing them as baseless gossip. Yet, accounts from trusted sources painted a different picture. Her first husband, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., along with official records from the FBI, confirmed the film's existence, suggesting it was a real part of her past. Even more unsettling was the role of her own brother, who reportedly tried to exploit the situation by attempting to sell copies of the film to anyone willing to pay. This forced the studio into action, where they allegedly disbursed a significant amount of money to bury the scandal and recover any available prints to keep secrets under wraps. Despite these efforts to erase every trace of the film, rumors continued to swirl for many years, refusing to fade away quietly. They gained new life when her adopted daughter, Christina Crawford, released the shocking memoir, Mommy Dearest. In this book, Christina portrayed Joan not just as a movie icon but as an abusive parent, exposing layers of personal turmoil that shocked the world. This publication sparked a renewed curiosity about Joan's private life, encouraging people to investigate her background more deeply, unearthing old whispers and suspicions from her formative years. For countless observers, Crawford's legacy became a complex mix of immense talent and hidden flaws, showcasing how celebrity status could crown someone in fame yet curse them with inescapable shadows from old Hollywood's secret. Moreover, this incident with Velvet Lips highlighted the lengths studios went to protect their stars, involving hush money and strategic retrievals to safeguard reputations in an era when scandals could destroy careers overnight. Moreover, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. stood firm in his recollections, sharing that the film dated back to Joan Ayouk's pre-fame days, when she was a struggling actress seeking any role that paid. Moreover, FBI documents reportedly corroborated these details, showing the agency's interest in monitoring such underground productions during that time. Even more, her brother-in-law's bid for blackmail added a familial betrayal to the drama, turning what could have been a personal matter into a multi-million-dollar cover-up orchestrated by powerful studio executives. Moreover, as the years passed, Joan Ayouk's denials grew fiercer, declaring in interviews that she had never participated in anything so debasing, yet the persistence of the rumors suggested otherwise. Furthermore, the release of Mommy Dearest not only revived tales of Velvet Lips, but also exposed Joan's alleged abuse toward her children, drawing parallels between her screen roles and real-life persona. Moreover, critics and fans alike revisited her early films in light of these revelations, questioning the authenticity of her star power. Even more, the blackmail attempt underscored the cutthroat nature of show business, where family could become adversaries over lucrative secrets. Furthermore, Joan's adopted daughter detailed accounts of harsh discipline in the memoir, claiming beatings with wire coat hangers and emotional neglect that scarred her childhood. Moreover, these stories prompted public sympathy for the children and fueled ongoing debates about Joan's character, blending admiration for her acting with condemnation of her private actions. Indeed, Joan's legacy as a blend of brilliance and darkness persists, symbolizing how fame in Golden Age Hollywood often masked profound personal struggles. Furthermore, the constant resurfacing of these scandals ensured that Velvet Lips remained a footnote in pop culture discussions, a reminder of hidden histories in the industry. Even more, testimonies from insiders like Fairbanks added credibility to the claims, contrasting sharply with Joan's own vows of innocence. Moreover, the studio's payoffs illustrated the financial toll of maintaining celebrity facades in a time before modern media scrutiny. Furthermore, Christina's book triggered legal battles with her mother, further complicating the narrative of familial discord. Indeed, Joan's career thrived amid these controversies, her performances continuing to captivate audiences despite the looming shadows. Moreover, Whispers of the film followed her through weddings, awards, and public appearances, a persistent whisper in the wind. Even more, her brother Aim's actions revealed a side of desperation in pursuit of quick gains, straining family bonds incalculably. Furthermore, FBI involvement hinted at broader societal concerns about morality in entertainment, tracking not just crimes, but the boundaries of fame. Indeed, Mommy Dearest became a bestseller, amplifying the reach of these uncovered truths and altering public perception of Joan forever. Moreover, the blend of talent and turmoil in her life made her a quintessential figure of Hollywood's dual edge, where success came with inevitable burdens. Even more, discussions of Velvet Lips often intersected with analyses of her iconic roles, raising questions about the authenticity behind her on-screen magnetism. Furthermore, the payoff to suppress the scandal demonstrated how money could silence controversies, preserving star images at any cost. Indeed, Joan's denials persisted even into her later years, steadfastly protecting her reputation from the tarnish of past mistakes. Moreover, the adopted daughter's memoir added layers to the story, depicting a mother who was loving in public, yet monstrous in private. Even more, this juxtaposition deepened the mystery of Joan's persona, dividing opinions on her true nature. Furthermore, the blackmail plot highlighted the vulnerability of stars, where personal ties could be weaponized for profit. Indeed, as decades passed, Joan's scandals became cautionary tales in Hollywood lore, warning of the curses that accompany fame. Moreover, Velvet Lips symbolized a hidden chapter, one that studios fought to obliterate from the annals of cinematic history. Even more, Fairbanks' accounts provided a first-hand glimpse into Joan's early ambitions, where perhaps desperation led to regrettable choices. Furthermore, FBI records suggested a pattern of such films in the industry, underscoring a seedy underbelly beneath the glitter. Indeed, Christina's allegations reopened wounds, prompting Joan to respond in her own writings and interviews, defending her legacy fiercely. Moreover, the narrative of abuse in Mommy Dearest echoed through generations, influencing how people viewed parental figures in celebrity families. Even more, Joan's Oscar win for Mildred Pierce stood as a testament to her skill. Yet it too became tinged by the scandals of her past. Furthermore, the brothers' scheme added familial betrayal to the mix, a painful addition to her troubled history. Indeed, Joan's life offered lessons in resilience, as she navigated the industry's pitfalls while building a lasting cinematic footprint. Moreover, the resurfacing of rumors forced ongoing denial strategies, shaping her public persona defensively. Even more, the daughter's book became a cultural phenomenon, sparking adaptations and further explorations of celebrity family dynamics. Furthermore, Velvet Lips remained elusive, never confirmed publicly despite the insider claims, leaving it as a tantalizing what-if in Hollywood's scandal saga. Indeed, Joan's blend of brilliance and darkness ensured her story endured, a crown of fame weighed down by curses from Golden Age secrets. Even more, the payoff sums reportedly protected not just her, but the studio's investments in her image. Moreover, whispers persisted through the 1980s, and beyond, fueled by Christina's disclosures. Furthermore, Joan's own words in response painted her as a victim of slander, fighting back against ungainly accusation. Even more, the FBI's documentation offered a bureaucratic acknowledgement of the film's possible reality. Indeed, Mommy Dearest prompted reflections on adoptive parenting in the spotlight, revealing Joan's complex relationships. Moreover, her brother's actions demonstrated how grief or greed could override loyalty within families. Furthermore, the actor Errol Flynn stood out as a bold figure in Hollywood films, always playing heroes full of excitement and bravery. Viewers loved his dashing looks and daring roles on the big screen. Yet, away from the cameras, his real story revealed a side packed with trouble and wild choices. During the 1940s, Flynn faced serious charges of statutory rape from two young girls who were not old enough. This led to a big trial that shocked the whole country and kept everyone talking. In the end, he was found not guilty, but the case made his name famous for the wrong reasons. The saying "and like Flynn" came from this trial, linking him to ideas of charm and seduction that some saw as dirty or sneaky. Beyond the courtroom drama, Flynn showed he had a huge hunger for thrills and women. People in Hollywood whispered about hidden mirrors in his house that let him watch others without them knowing. He threw loud parties that mixed real life with made-up games, blurring what was true and what was fantasy. His private life pushed limits that even the gossip papers were scared to print all about. Still, the movie studios did everything to protect him because his films made so much money at the box office. They wanted to keep him as a star, no matter how risky his ways were. Flynn's habits caught up with him eventually. He drank too much alcohol and lived in a way that hurt his body. At just 50 years old, he died from a heart attack, and doctors could hardly believe he had survived that long with all the damage inside. After his death, strange tales spread about the autopsy. Some said the people examining his body took pieces as souvenirs, even a part of his anatomy. But these rumors probably grew bigger than the truth. Flynn left behind a memory as the perfect bad boy, whose movie heroics looked so different from his messy personal life. This made him a symbol of both great talent and the dangers of too much freedom in the old days of film. Beginning with Judy Garland's story, her life showed great talent trapped in a cruel system in Hollywood. MGM found her as a young teen and pushed her into films where studios acted like bosses with no care for workers. From start, her life was controlled. Leaders thought she was too heavy and not pretty enough, so they made her diet hard, then gave her pills to stay skinny, and awake during long days filming. At night, they gave sleeping pills to sleep, starting a bad cycle of drug use they caused. At 19, she loved someone and married, but when she might have a baby, MGM bosses made her end the pregnancy to keep her image good, ignoring her feelings. This was just one way they took control over her. Over time, her problems with drugs and health became news stories, but people did not see the real Anja system that used her up, hurt her, and sold her youth. Even when she tried to get better, the need to perform was too much. She gave amazing shows in movies like The Wizard of Oz and A Star is Born, but the studios that earned much from her left her behind. In the end, she passed away at 47 from too many barbiturate pills alone and owing money, leaving behind songs, films, and unspoken pain. Her tale shows how Hollywood could ruin those it praised. A sad example of hidden troubles in the spotlight that harmed her deeply and robbed her of a full life free from the grip of those in power who shaped her fate without mercy or real support. Furthermore, Tallulah Bankhead captured everyone's attention with her lively energy and bold choices. As a talented performer on stage and screen, she was famous not just for her acting, but also for her wild ways and clever humor. In a time when women were expected to act calmly and follow rules, Bankhead broke them all. She openly smoked and drank, ignored fashion rules, and spoke freely about her relationships with both men and women, even when such talk could ruin a career. Her openness about being with people of different genders shocked many, but it made her stand out. Beneath her tough front, though, was a lot of sadness. By age 30, she had gone through 4 abortions, not because she did not want kids, but because her job as a star actress left no space for being a mom. Movie studios kept tight control over their female stars, arranging secret abortions to protect their images, even though these were against the law. Later in life, Tallulah faced a serious illness called gonorrhea, which led to an operation that removed part of her body so she could never have children. This weighed on her mind, leaving her with much regret. Her fun-loving style hid how lonely and needy she felt, and even as she became a famous figure in pop culture, close friends saw her longing deeply for real love and approval. Her experiences show how hard women in Hollywood had to work to stay successful, and how little the movie world cared about their personal health and happiness. Her path was full of drama, marked by both triumphs and heartache. Alongside her provocative reputation, she built a legacy that challenged norms in entertainment. Despite the scandals, her spirit inspired change. Many admired her courage in speaking her mind, influencing future actors to embrace their true self. In private, she dealt with emotional scars from her decisions, seeking solace in friendships and fleeting romances. The industry often put careers first, sacrificing personal dreams for public image. Bankhead navigated these waters with resilience, though not without cost. Her story reveals layers of glamour tainted by pain. Friends recalled moments of her vulnerability, where the spotlight faded and raw feelings emerged. Through it all, she remained a force in theater and film, captivating audiences with her presence. Yet, the toll on her well-being was evident in her later reflections. She admitted to wishing things had been different, especially regarding family. Hollywood's demands shaped her choices profoundly. Abortion secrets were common, but never discussed openly. For Bankhead, these procedures summed up the sacrifices required of women stars. Gonorrhea complications added another blow, sealing her fate as childless. Regret became a constant companion, overshadowing her achievements. Despite this, her wit and charm won her enduring respect. Colleagues spoke of her generosity beneath the bravado. She mentored young talents, sharing hard-earned wisdom. In interviews, she hinted at the loneliness behind smiles. Her bisexuality, a rumored topic, was embraced as part of her identity. She refused to hide, setting precedents for honesty. Studios once silenced such matters, but she defied conventions. Her legacy includes advocating for performers' rights. Though scandal followed her, so did admiration. Late-night adventures became legend, yet they masked inner turmoil. Love affairs, both passionate and fleeting, fed her soul's hunger. Ultimately, her life illustrated Hollywood's hidden cost. In light of the countless hidden skeletons in Hollywood's glittering closet, it becomes clear that the movie industry's dark underbelly spanned generations, ensnaring stars whose facades mask lives rife with secrecy and subterfuge. Consider the infamous case of comedian Fatty Arbuckle, whose name is synonymous with a 1922 scandal falsely implicating him in a young actress's death amidst a wild party. Though acquitted, the public frenzy led studios to bury any further detail, painting his career in shades of permanent doubt. Then there was the story of silent film star Louise Brooks, whose memoir later revealed a predatory relationship with director G.W. Pabst that the industry hushed up to protect his reputation, leaving her to grapple with unresolved trauma, while his films continued unchallenged. Moving into the talkie era, actor John Barrymore had a string of illicit affairs and a hidden son fathered with a chorus girl, which was covertly paid off by his studio bosses to avoid scandal at the height of his fame. Similarly, actress Mae West's saucy image belied rumors of an abortion scandal in the 1930s, swiftly covered by MGM executives who fabricated press releases to mask her real-life entanglements with mob figures and late-night escapades that could deuce to performing as moms have led to arson threats to silence her critics. The Golden Age wasn't spared either, as screen siren Hedy Lamarr's defection from Nazi-occupied Austria involved whispered allegations of espionage and a concealed divorce from a wealthy Jewish businessman to secure her American contracts, all swept under the rug by powerful producers. Errol Flynn, the dashing adventurer of films like Captain Blood, concealed a concealed child from his early days as a sailor, and faced whispers of homosexual liaisons that studios drowned in phony publicity stunts, including staged romances with extraordinary fellow stars. Another layer of intrigue unfolds with the Lana Turner tragedy, where her daughter Cheryl Crane's stabbing of her Johnny Stompanato was portrayed as self-defense, yet studio insiders worked tirelessly to obscure the affair's mafia ties and Turner's work skewer the affair's mafia ties. Prior history of abusive relationships to maintain her wholesome image. Clark Gable, paragon of masculinity, allegedly fathered illegitimate children during his marriage to Carole Lombard, a fact suppressed by jurisprudence and film magnates who orchestrated distractions like war bond promotions to divert attention. Judy Garland's poignant life included hidden struggles with pedophilic predators in Hollywood's elite circles, her complaints silenced through drug-induced treatments, and contractual gag orders to protect figures like producer Sam Katzman. Finally, Rita Hayworth's transformation from Margarita Cancino revealed a murky past of underage marriages orchestrated by her father for financial gain, details buried in studio archives as her glory days blossomed under Fox Pictures' watchful eye. These 10 unearthed sagas remind us that the silver screen's allure often hid profound human failings, from forbidden passions to societal betrayals, all meticulously archived away to preserve a myth of perfection that few could live up to, proving that Hollywood's true drama extends far beyond the credits, with roots in a web of deceit that shaped careers and destinies alike, influencing the industry's trajectory for decades to come. Much like how early moguls like Cecil B. DeMille orchestrated elaborate cover-ups for his own rumored infidelities, weaving a tapestry of denial that defined the era's moral compass, while influential press baron William Randolph Hearst's machinations in the Polynadry affair demonstrated how personal vendettas went hand in hand with scandal suppression to favor certain stars and condemn others, illustrating the intricate dance of power between studios and the press that kept skeletons locked firmly in closets, ensuring the public's firmly in closets. Adoration remained unchallenged by the complexities of fame's undercurrent.